they ever going to stop?
Don't be silly, they're still doing 80s rock. We haven't even started 90s R&B yet. We've got hours of Boys to Men and Mariah Carey still to go.
Yeah, but who would have thought back when we were 17 that we'd be here on a night out of the town with the men of our dreams?
Back then, we'd be happy to get asked on dates.
A group date.
A hangout.
A slow dance at a steak ball.
Yes.
Well, back in those days, you'd have to go through my dad first. Couldn't pick me up for a date without asking permission at the front door first.
Pick up. My dad would drive me to my date's house and wait out the front, sharpening his machete until I was done.
Yeah, well, at least you were allowed out. My dad was so strict, I wasn't allowed on my first date till I was married, with 3 kids. And even then, the closest I got to having dinner with a boy was ordering at a family food speaker box.
Oh, you had it easy. If a boy wanted to ask me on a date, he'd have to call up my dad and recite all 14 articles of faith.
14.
Yeah, he made one up to confuse them. Then, once we were on our date, we had to call up every 30 minutes, report our location, the closest police station, and my body temperature.
Body temperature.
Luxury! Before a boy could even ask me out on a date, he had to provide my parents with a written notice 30 days in advance, signed by a justice of the peace and written in English, German and Latin, provide his family history 4 generations back, and his tithing receipts from the last financial year. Once he had done all of that, he could then only take me out every 2nd and 4th Wednesday of the month, and if the weather was clear, he had to drop me off 30 minutes before he even picked me up.
Yes.
Yeah, but we were happy back then, before all the awkwardness of dating as YSA. But like what my dad would say, bad dates, they make good marriages.
Good marriages.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah, he was right. I went on 100 bad dates before I married my husband. Actually, now that I think about it, most of them were with my husband. But do you know how many times I had to act stoked to be going to Kangaroo Point Subway and to walk along the cliffs?
At least you got dinner. I had to catch mine. I had this one guy that took me fishing with his mates, and get this, there was no extra rod. So I had to sit on the jetty, baiting the hooks and scaling the fish. And when I finally got fed up and said, "Take me home," he tried to give me a massage with his dirty fish hands. Could you be any more repulsive?
I would have loved a fish finger massage. One guy asked me out on a date. We went on a budget karaoke date. We sat in his car, eating stale pretzels and drinking poppers, and humming whatever came on the radio. And then, ready? When a love song came on, he'd cry and tell me about how much he missed his ex-girlfriend.
Wait, hold up. FM radio?
Yeah.
You were lucky. I once went on a budget picnic. He made us listen to AM talkback radio while we ate old Vegemite sandwiches sitting on a concrete roundabout playing Chinese checkers. The whole time, people were going around insulting us and throwing thick shakes at our heads.
Well, of course, I had it tough. I once thought that I was dating a guy for over a month. He would pick me up, take me out on dinner dates, teach me painting on the beach, introduced me to his grandmother, and took me ring shopping, all before I realised that he was just trying to recruit me into his pyramid scheme, selling knife sharpeners and dietary supplements. And when I turned him down, he had the nerve to chuck the biggest tantrum, run out of the restaurant, and leave me to pay the bill, walk home 7 kilometres in my stilettos.
That's cute. I had this one guy that asked me out and sent a letter every single day for a whole year, asking me out via an acrostic poem using my name with his surname. When I finally said yes, just so he would stop wasting paper, and showed up at his house, he goes into shock and slips into a coma. And then when the ambulance and everyone's finally arrived, I find out that he tells his parents we're engaged. So I have to sit by the hospital bed for 3 months, so I don't look like a jerk, cleaning out his toenail scum. And when he finally wakes up, guess what he says? Guess. He was only in it for the chase. He dumped me.
And you try telling that to the YSA these days. They will not believe you.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope.